Just when you think cancel culture is getting better, some bad news drops. And just yesterday, it was revealed by Limited Run Games that they had fired their community manager because of her conservative beliefs. She's a Christian conservative woman, and she was fired for it, quite literally. And her biggest crime, mostly, was because of an old tweet from 2016 and also who she follows. This is absurdity. I'm going to dive into this video because I have a lot to cover here. So first, Limited Run Games makes their little announcement here, which I'll get to in a second. But first, let me show where this originated from. Purple Tinker here says the community manager for Limited Run Games, Carol Lynn, is a transphobe who follows a veritable who's who of right-wing transphobic creeps. Unless and until she is fired from the company permanently, I'm not giving them another single dime, which I have to watch this and look at this in an incognito tab because they blocked me. I don't know who they are, but alas. So anyway, they found this old tweet from Kara from 2016 where she said, if you think the number of trans crying about using a bathroom is higher than the pervs using the excuse, you are what is wrong with this world. Okay, so there's a couple things about this tweet, why, a couple problems here, why they would fire her for this. One, this was from back in 2016, so 7 years ago almost. Number two here is she isn't even saying that she is anti-transgender people. She is anti-pervs using the transgender excuse, which you have right here. This is right in front of your face. She's concerned about women's safety. So she gets fired for her concern about women's safety. So inclusive, huh? Let's see what else her crime is. Following libs of TikTok. Following Blair White, a transgender woman, I might add. Following Ian Miles Chong. Let's see what else. Firing Dave Rubin here. Okay, and following Ariel, a lesbian. Gina Carano. You know, I'm kind of bummed I didn't make this list, but alas, I'll get over it. But anyway, then they're pulling up like that old tweet I already showed you from webarchive.org. And then they're talking about, oh, I've given this company quite a lot of money. Thousands of dollars, I'm going to refund this, blah, blah, blah. And then update, she was fired, which that is where they left their statement on the matter and said, Limited Run Games respects all personal opinions. However, we remain committed to supporting an inclusive culture. Upon investigating a situation, an employee was terminated. Our goal as a company is to continue to foster a positive and safe environment for everyone. To which I replied, you do not respect all personal opinions, else this decision would not have happened. And if you were committed to an inclusive culture, you wouldn't have fired a Christian woman for her beliefs. And you know, here's some irony that I just had to pull up because look, this was just 2 hours ago, right? So this person is already like, you know, trying to got Kara fired, called her out because of her concern for women's safety. Okay, let's call it what it is, women's safety. And then this happens to her, okay? If you want to talk about, oh, there's no way someone can pretend to be trans and be a perv or be wrong. There's no way. This is what happens here. So they tried to virtue signal here and found out. All right, so I saved a trans woman's life from a red state by spending a lot of my own money to rent a car. A lot of your own money, okay? So who else's money other than the credit card company? Curious. Okay. To rent a car and accompany her to keep her awake during a 15-hour drive. I then gave her a credit card on the understanding that she'd keep spending under $500 at any time. She maxed it out. Sweet justice. In fact, she more than maxed it out. She pushed it several $100s over the limit. Then she asked me for more money, and I got somewhat annoyed. And at that point, she said I triggered her and started dodging my messages for days. When, after 4 days, I demanded to know if she was repaying me or not, she called me abusive and ableist and refused repeatedly to answer my simple yes or no question. Will you pay me back? She owes me around $2,000. I'm assuming I'll never see it again. This is what happens when I try to help people, and this is the things I get. Oh, you know what happened here? Okay. Oh, you want to act like it's not possible for a man to use the transgender privilege, because let's face it, there's privilege with it. They are protected, and it is a privilege in this case over being an actual woman. Okay. A woman got fired here. They can use that privilege. Obviously, I'm not talking about every single transgender person, because there are some transgender people who I'm friends with and who I think are good people. But just saying, don't even pretend like people, grown men, can't use this for the privilege of it. Because I know y'all want to act like men have all this privilege, but, people soon find out that maybe being a man in society these days, especially, or pretty much ever, is a lot more difficult than you think. Because you don't got people feeling sorry for you or wanting to protect you or wanting to take care of you or anything like that as a man that we do as a woman. So in a situation of a perverted man, or say a man who just wants to scam people and use people, what can he do to better take advantage of them? Because who's going to feel sorry for a grown man? That almost doesn't happen for the most part. So, here's what he can do. He can pretend like he's a woman. Because let's face it, would you have done all of this for a man? Would you have drove 15 hours for a man, save him from a red state? Would you have done that? No. The only reason you did this is because this person was transgender, allegedly said they were. Whether or not they actually were, who freaking knows? But regardless, whether they genuinely try to live like it, that's over a whole other discussion. But looks like you got scammed by a man. It could have, what's worse than just being scammed monetarily by a man? A man perving on you in a bathroom and doing who knows what worse. The irony here is absurd. And yet you just got a woman fired for pointing out that this happens. And then would you look at that? To a similar extent, this happened to you. Yeah. So I made a video recently saying woke ideology is satanic. And if you want to see all of my opinions on that, you can. But I still stand by what I said in that. And that is a direct antithesis of the Christian religion. And as a result, who's going to be getting hurt out of this more than others? Who is the least protected class right now is Christians, especially a white Christian man. But regardless, Christians. And in this case, here is a conservative Christian woman who got fired for being a conservative Christian woman and having her values. She didn't even say anything offensive. Okay? Me, I'll push it. I'll tell it like it is. But hey, and you know what I always say in all my videos? I'm like, I don't like going after people. I always tell you guys, be nice. Don't go after them on Twitter. This ain't a person, okay? This is a corporation. So if you want to just go on Twitter and, I don't know, speak your mind on Twitter to this account, I didn't see it. Do what you want to do. Obviously, do not go after anybody personally, but hey, you want to give them a little piece of your mind? Do that. And this is why it's so important for us to stand up against cancel culture as a whole, and to keep standing up against cancel culture, and also to stand up for a variety of different values, beliefs, this, that, or the other, because what's happening is the mob is taking over. We are seeing, in this case, transgender ideology is literally hurting people. Now, while there are people who are minding their own business, living their own life, this, that, or the other, that's their business. But we cannot allow this movement to grow to such a degree that is just out of control, to where women are being harmed. I mean, they're literally being harmed in sports. And to where just being a Christian is getting you fired, okay? And they want to act like it's bigotry to even not agree with the lifestyle. And that isn't even what happened here and what Kara said. She is just concerned about predators using that as a guise, which literally just happened here, like I said. Okay? But even beyond that, she should, and anybody else should be allowed their personal beliefs. They don't have to affirm anybody, and they don't have to validate anybody. They are allowed to have their beliefs as long as they are respectful and kind to other people. Then this should not be a result of that. And you want to call someone a bigot just because they don't affirm somebody, and I'm not even talking about Kara here because this is a just different situation in general, but just because, you know, especially when it comes to children, people are against making these kind of decisions and pushing this ideology on children because it's literally mutilating children, okay? And so just saying that, how come other people are allowed to not agree with the Christian lifestyle? How is it okay for that, but then it's not okay if you don't agree with someone else's lifestyle? How about we live in a society where we can treat each other all as human beings and we can still disagree with each other's lifestyles regardless of whatever that lifestyle may be and just move on with our lives? Who freaking cares? How many people don't agree with the Christian lifestyle? I bet you almost everybody that works for this company, and including the person who made this tweet, doesn't agree with the Christian lifestyle. Else they wouldn't have fired her. So why is it bigotry to not agree with one lifestyle, but it isn't to disagree with another lifestyle? It's fair to agree or disagree with whatever lifestyle you want as long as you are not treating people improperly, okay? That is the point here. So this is bullcrap. This sucks, and I hope Kara finds something a lot better. So yeah, this is disgusting. And cancel culture is not over. We've got a battle that we've still got to fight because this is gotten to insane levels. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me and watching today. Normally I like to be a little goofy and laugh at stuff, but obviously this is a much more serious matter. And as we've seen, Kara here has been punished for something that she did not deserve, and it sucks to see it. So thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. I will catch you next time. And in the meantime, go boom.